From January all the way until now, Nintendo has consistently put out a game every single month, and today I'm going to rank every single one of them. So let's get started with my ranking of all of the Nintendo Switch Nintendo published exclusives so far. Number 6 should be no surprise. Everybody's 1-2 Switch absolutely sucks so bad. It is a sequel to one of the worst games on the Nintendo Switch, that being 1-2 Switch, which is a launch title for the original Switch, and that's the only reason it sold as well as it did, is because it was a launch title that showed off a lot of the gimmicks and the features that the Nintendo Switch had. I think it definitely should have been a pack-in game, and then maybe it would have done a little bit better, maybe it would be respected a bit more, so they lowered the price. They gave us $30 instead of $50 for everybody's 1-2 Switch, and it is still not worth it. This game, in every sense of the word, is garbage. I think it's alright to play with friends occasionally if you want to, if your friend group is funny like that. It's really going to depend on who you have around you. I had an alright time with a couple of my friends because we had a good time making fun of it and making fun of the experience, but if you got some hardcore gamer friends, you guys get together and play Smash, Street Fighter, shit like that, this is not the next party game that you need to check out. Stick with the tried and true Mario Kart, and then stuff like that. Just stay away from this game. That's why it's at number 6. So as we progress through this list, I'm realizing that number 5 is going to seem, like slightly better than number 6. That's really not how it is in any way. All of these next 5 games are very, very close in quality. I love each and every one of these games, and I think that they are great games on the Nintendo Switch. Otherwise, I would not have purchased them. So don't think that this next game is even remotely on the same level as 1-2 Switch. It is on the same level as the number 1 game. I just have preferences of one game over the other. If you have preferences or you don't like my list or you prefer different games over whatever, let me know all that in the comments down below. But at number 5, we have Advanced Wars. And this really pains me to do because I love Advanced Wars. I think this is a really, truly amazing game. I was so happy to see the franchise brought back because it's a franchise I've heard so much about, but I've never gotten the opportunity to play. And so by porting those first 2 iterations of the series onto the Nintendo Switch, it really allowed me to dive into it. They have an amazing story, an amazing art style. I really think it's one of my favorite art styles on the entire Nintendo Switch just because it is so comic book style-esque. And then once you get into the actual gameplay of it, it's very toy-like, which I think does super well for a game like this, and you can kind of just treat it like a board game. It basically has 2 ways to win every battle. You can either take their main tower, or you can destroy all the troops, and I love that flexibility and how you can win and stuff like that. I really, really love this battle system, and I like this battle system even more than one of the others I will talk about a little bit later, but again, it's down here just because I'm not traditionally a tactical RPG person. I'm trying to push myself and get in that genre and experience it and see what it's about, and so far, I absolutely adore it, but at the same time, I still have my preferences. I still have my things I like a little teeny bit more than this, but overall, definitely like an A+ game. Moving on to number 4 is Fire Emblem Engage. This is a fantastic Fire Emblem game in my opinion. Take that with a grain of salt though, because I've only ever played Fire Emblem 3 Houses before this, but I love this game so much more than 3 Houses. I think the combat overall is just so much better. It goes to sort of a rock, paper, scissors battle system with super fun battle maps and amazing stories. I traditionally don't get super engrossed in video game stories, but this one really had me on the hook of it. I didn't see any of the twists and turns. I was excited for everything around the corner, and I loved the character designs and just everything about this game I thought was truly amazing. In 3 Houses, I didn't like how much side stuff you had to do to get the full scope of the story, and you don't really have to do that in this one. You can kind of beeline it straight to the end there, and that's something that I appreciate that are in games, but it still has a lot of hours of extra side stuff, extra content, but for me, what I really, really, truly appreciated about this game was just the battle system and how well everything worked together. Of course, it was cool to see Marth in it as well, someone I know from Smash Bros. I know you guys are going to get pissed at me. Oh, that shit was on the Famicom. I wasn't alive in the 80s. Let's get that clear. Yeah, that was kind of sassy. Moving on to number 3. I have to put on the shades for number 3 because I know people are going to be mad about this, but Kirbys Return to Dreamland Deluxe. I absolutely love it. It has the Magolor epilogue. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. This game is one of the games that came out originally on the Wii, and then it's getting ported to the Switch. That in of itself is not that cool. People have played this game before. It's a game that's been around. The art style, the lines around Kirby, that was a little different. However, they took that game, they built off it, and they built a whole new story with the main baddie in this game, Magolor. And they have this whole Magolor epilogue where it plays as like a side-scrolling beat-em-up, sort of, and it's way different to Kirby, has a skill tree, has a whole new set of missions, and it's a ton of fun. I really, really hope that they make Magolor his own side games or something, eShop exclusive games I would take, because it's just such a blast. I think this game is a must play if it ever goes on sale. If you ever see this game for under $30, definitely pick it up, especially if you're a Kirby fan. If you got into the franchise with Forgotten Land and you want to see what the 2D games are all about, this is a perfect one to jump onto. It's a ton of fun, the story is great, the gameplay is amazing, and it is just a classic Kirby game with some amazing upgrades and some amazing quality of life features. Moving on to number 2, and these two are pretty close to one another, but one definitely shines a bit more than the other. You guys are gonna get mad. I don't know if you guys are gonna get mad. I mean, it obviously makes sense. Number 2 is Metroid Prime Remastered. This is a game and a half. It's an amazing game. I was super excited when this was originally announced because I have never played a Metroid game. I just didn't really have the opportunity to do so. I dabbled and I tried it out on Dolphin, but I didn't really love it. And so what I did with this game is when it came out, I played the whole thing on stream and it had an absolute blast. Those are some of my favorite memories on stream. I had a great viewer guiding me through the whole scope of the game, and that was fantastic. And truly, it was an amazing game from start to finish. There were a lot of fetch quests, and I don't traditionally love fetch quests, and I don't traditionally love, like, exploring and getting lost and stuff like that, which you could, oh, Josie, that's the whole point of Metroid. I don't care. There's tons of Metroid games that don't do that, so we gotta stop gatekeeping the franchise, alright? Anyways, Metroid Prime is a phenomenal game. There are those fetch quests. There are all those things that kind of did bother me a bit, but since I played it on stream, if I ever got lost, I was just like, yo, chat, where am I supposed to go? And that was super helpful. So, you know, if you get super lost in this game, I have said it for a while, and I'm going to say it again. I don't think there's any harm in using a guide, but it is a fantastic game with amazing controls and amazing quality of life features. The remaster is beautiful, and it goes to show that the Switch can really do some high-performing games if utilized to its full potential. Number 1 is probably no surprise to those of you watching, but that would be Tears of the Kingdom. Wow, how original! Tears of the Kingdom is such a good game. It is just a blast from start to finish. The story is amazing. The way you unlock different areas of the game and the world itself builds off of the original Hyrule from Breath of the Wild so beautifully and naturally, and it's a much more filled-in world. One of my complaints with Breath of the Wild was that it was a little bit empty feeling. I mean, you can talk to NPCs, but you can't really do a ton, and there's so much different NPCs to interact with, and there's so many different things to do in this game, from side quests to main quests in of itself, that it will keep you busy for hours on end. I know tons of people have put over 100 hours into this game and still have yet to beat it. I finally finished the game just a little bit ago, and I absolutely love it. It is one of the best games I have ever played, and I think it is truly an amazing experience, and I appreciate that Nintendo took the time to polish each and every aspect of this game and truly make it such a special one. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video, let me know what your ranking is down in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel and check out this video over here. It is such a banger video. I don't know why you're not already over there. Holy shit, I forgot to take off the glasses. That's been there for a while. I'm leaving it in. I can't get them over my ears. I don't care. I think you guys are gonna love it, personally.